A few words on Nadal's career, if it's going to be his last year. I mean,
Yeah.
how do you view it
Well,
as a legacy?
well, first off, there's no comparison. The greatest clay court player ever to hold the stick, one of the top three players ever in the history of the game, one of the most brutal competitors the game has ever seen, and he wears it on his sleeve. And the public can identify with Nadal because he's just such a hard worker. You know what I mean? He's a grinder, a pit bull. He's a dog. Where Federer was poetry in motion, and Djokovic maybe a hybrid of both. So people like that lunch pail mentality of Nadal. But the one thing, every single time he played, you never saw him mail it in. He was always like he gave 100%. And so I think he's the best role model, in my opinion. They're all great competitors. I don't mean to downplay it. Probably the greatest competitor ever. They used to say that about Jimmy Connors back in the day and stuff, but one of the best competitors, and people can relate to that, and his physical style and so on. So if anybody can duplicate on clay what this guy did, it'd be amazing because he had the perfect game. Lefty, that heavy topspin going up to the righty's backhand. If you were a one-hander, you almost had no chance. Okay. And he could take the forehand up the line. His backhand's underrated. He definitely could hit through the ball. Okay. Where they kind of messed up, or I think he could have had a lot more Grand Slams, biomechanically, he wasn't taught correctly the serve at a young age. For being 6'2", and his height and with his height and weight, his serve could have been much better. Listen, he's the same height and weight as Ben Shelton. Different serve, both lefty. But I think the object was get it in, good spin, make him hit it back to your forehand, and then you run the show. And when he run the show and he's controlling the yo-yo, you're in trouble. But just think if he had had a serve like Federer, or if he had a serve like Shelton, you realize we could be over 30 Grand Slams. I always look at people and I back the truck up. What if they'd have had that? But Rafa's serve could have been a lot better. Okay. But we don't back up. Listen, he did so many amazing things. The greatest clay court player ever to hold a racket.